here again. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to design this simple advert flyer in Photoshop. But before I go too deeper, welcome back again and let's dive deeper. Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this, like I've said. And before I go deeper into it, I'm just going to show you how I made this background, this line kind of background. I actually made that in Illustrator because it's giving me tough time to do in Photoshop, so I felt the easiest way to doing it is using Illustrator. If you're a CorelDRAW designer, you know it's very easy doing that in CorelDRAW, but I'm a Photoshop designer, so I'm gonna head to Photoshop, to Illustrator, sorry. I'm gonna head up to Illustrator and just show you quickly how I made this. Okay, so this is Illustrator, and what I'm gonna do now is to create a new file, which I'm gonna make it a normal file, which is 2000 by 2000 pixel. I'm gonna click on create. So once I click on create, then I would come to this and I'll click on pixels. So when I click on pixels, yeah, you can decide to rename it. Obviously, okay, just rename it to, let's say, T tutorial. Then I'm gonna make this 2000 by 2000 pixel. 2000 by 2000 pixel. Okay, so I have it at 2000 by 2000 pixel. Then everything remains the same. So I'm gonna head on to clicking on create. So I'm gonna click on create. So it's gonna take me some time. Yeah, then I have it like this. So since I have it like this, then the next thing I'm gonna do is to create the line, which is a kind of square shape. So quickly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head on to my shape tool, which is this. I'm gonna head on to shape tool, then I'm going to change the color to, let's say, okay, so I want to pick this color. This is Photoshop. I want to pick this color. Then I'm gonna copy, because that's the color I'm gonna use for this background. So I'm gonna copy them. I'll head back to Illustrator. So I'm just gonna paste the color here, and I'm gonna hit OK. So I have the color here. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm on my shape tool, which is a rectangle shape tool. So I don't need a stroke around it, so I'm just gonna use X to bring up this stroke. Then I'm gonna close it, X to flip it back. Then I'm just gonna draw this stroke like this, like so, like so. Let's say this is fine. Good. So let's say this is fine. Then I can still change it a bit. Okay. So let's say this is fine. Yeah, I think this is cool. So that's fine then. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is to reduce the opacity to, let's say, 50%. Let's say 50% will be fine, or let's make it 35%. Okay, I think that's fine. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna hit Alt and drag Alt Shift. I'll hit Alt Shift and drag like so. Then I release. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'll click on Ctrl D until I'm satisfied, like so. Then I'm gonna highlight everything and I'll group with Ctrl G. I think these things aligned. Are they aligned? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight everything, then I'll come to alignment here and ensure that I distribute vertically and horizontally. Then I make sure that they are horizontally. Oops. Ctrl Z. I'll make sure they are what? So they are aligned now. Then I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna group. Then I'm gonna centralize everything. Yes, centralized now. Okay, yeah. So I have it like this. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to duplicate. That's copy. Ctrl C, paste in place. Edit and paste in place. So I'm gonna come to the edge where I have my at the anchor point here at the edge. Then I'm gonna hold my shift and rotate like this and have this, and it's cool. So that's how I achieve that, and I'm satisfied with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm satisfied. Then I'm going to save as JPEG, because this is the actual size I want to use in designing my my graphic, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is to come to this place, then I come to save as, then I'll come to this. Oops, sorry, I have to come to file, then come to export as. So I'm gonna export as JPEG. I'm gonna export as JPEG, then okay, so let me just save it inside of View. So I'm gonna save it here. I'm gonna the name of the file is T-tutorial. So I'm gonna click on export. So I'm gonna click on OK. So it has saved. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to move back to Photoshop and continue with my designs. Okay, yeah, so I'm back to Photoshop now, and this is the tutorial we're trying to design. So what I'm gonna do is to import the previous file I just created. Click on Open, press Ctrl O. Then I'll locate where I saved it, which is VertMine. Then I saved it with T-tutorial and OK. So I have it as plain as this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I bring all the necessary things. So what I'm going to do is bring my image, then write up my text. So the first thing I'm going to do is come to the shape tool. No, not gradient, but okay, sorry, shape tool. Then I'm going to have, okay, there's an issue somewhere. Ensure that this is on shape, right? So my shape tool is selected. Then I'm going to draw my shape like this, like so. Okay, so I have my shape like this. I don't know why it's doing something like that. Okay, so I'm going to double click this and I'm going to pick this particular color. So once I pick the particular color, then I would come somewhere around here and paste like this. So I'm still going to reduce this a little bit and this a little bit. So I'm going to hold on my text tool and type stay. Okay, it's too small. I have to change the color to black. Then I'll click OK, and also I'm gonna click on this. Then I'm gonna increase the size a little bit, like so. Good. So next thing I'm gonna do is bring this. I'm gonna close this down. Then I'm gonna bring this here. So obviously this will move like this, and this has to increase a little bit. Then I'm going to say this. So now I'm going to ensure that so I'm not gonna the typeface is not gonna be bold. I'll make sure it's not bold. Maybe something like regular will be fine, or medium. Let's medium. Okay. Let's see regular. Okay. So I think regular is fine. Yeah. So I think regular is fine. Then okay, so now I'm gonna ensure that this is aligned with this. No. Yeah, so they are both aligned now. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this. Then I'm gonna type creative. So I'm gonna bring this here. Obviously I want to ensure that they are aligned. They're perfectly aligned. They are aligned. So next I'm going to do is ensure that this is a little bit bigger, like this. Okay, I think this is fine. Then I'll take it up a bit. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'll ensure that I reduce this a little bit. I think this is too big for what I wanted it for. Let's say this. Okay. Let's say this will be fine. Then I'm gonna do like this. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. Okay, so I'm gonna make this medium. I'm gonna make it medium. I think medium will be fine for what I wanted it to achieve. So medium will be fine. So one more thing I can do is now whenever you're working on a design like this, ensure that you have your magic set. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna grab my ruler and bring it to this place, and I'll ensure that every of my design falls in place. Okay, this is cool. So I'm gonna push this with my arrow keys. Yeah, so that's fine. So how do I achieve same thing here? Because as this is, I also need to have same. I also need to have same. I need to have same size here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll grab my shape tool. Then I'm gonna do like this. So which is fine. So I'm going to come to this edge here and I'm going to turn it to 0 pixel. So I'll ensure that this is properly set. Okay, so that's it. So Control A. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ensure that this moves to this edge. By doing this, I'll hit top, then I'll click on this and I'll deselect, then ensure I drag my ruler to this edge and I'm fine. So the next thing to do is to continue with the text. So I'm going to continue with the text, then I'm still going to drag this a little bit everything was like this. Yeah, I think this is good. So I need to type something inside of here. I'm gonna type in 1 month, right? So I'm gonna bring this here. So I'm gonna bring this here. Then I'm going to change the font to Manrock. Yes. So I'm gonna use regular Manrock regular, and I'm going to ensure it's optical. I'm going to ensure it's optical. Then I will reduce the size to, let's say, 30. Okay, so now I'm going to increase it a little bit to, let's say, 35, and I'm going to ensure that I give it a kerning of, let's say, okay, so let's say this will be fine, and so let's say this will be fine. Then I'm still going to ensure that I reduce it a little bit, like so. So then I ensure that I make it like this. Now I'm going to ensure that this is aligned within. Okay, so I'm going to change the color to white. Obviously, I'm going to change the color to white. So now I feel like I can still increase this to, let's say, 40. Yeah, I think 40 works well. Okay, so 40 works well. Then I'm going to centralize and ensure that this moves up a bit, while this also moves up a bit. So after doing this, then the next thing I'm gonna do is, so in 1 month, stay creative. Then width, I will write my width here. This, so I'm gonna use this. This. I'm gonna use it. Then I'm gonna use this color. See this. Okay, so I'm gonna use this color like this. Then, so the next thing I'm gonna do is move this up a bit. So I'm going to kind of move it a bit. Let it align with this as well. Let me increase the size a little bit. Okay, like so. I think this is cool. So then I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to change it to Ikoti. So I'm going to change everything to uppercase. Then I'm going to reduce the size like so. So I'm going to reduce the size. Then sure, I'll just have this like this. Then shift it a bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ensure that I put it like bold. I think bold works well. Bold. Okay, good. So it's gradually making sense. So bold. Then I write the date for the event. Obviously, I no longer need this, so I can delete this. I just needed it as a guide. Since I've achieved what I wanted, so I don't need it. Then this, I will ensure that this also has no curve at the edge, 0 pixel, so everything looks fine. Then I'm gonna input my date, which is 27th. 27th. Okay. So the way I do my thing here is that I ensure that I type every of my words separately for convenience sake, since there's no break function yet in Photoshop. Obviously, I'm using Photoshop CC 2021, so I don't know, maybe 2024 has it already, I don't know. But for 2021, we don't have it yet. So that's more reason why I have to ensure that I type every of my wordings one after the other, so that I can give them separate touches, or separate touches or effects rather. Then I'm going to say this is April. I'm going to say this is April. So I'm going to take off the uppercase. Then I'll ensure that I'll ensure that this goes down as well. I'll ensure that I was selected, highlighted, and I'll move them right here. I'll have like this, then I'll move this down a little bit, just fill up the gap a little bit. So I have it like this. So now I would make sure that the dates I put it to, let's say, medium. I think medium is okay. Medium works fine. This goes well for the dates. It goes well for the dates. Alright, so yeah, good. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a shape. So I'm just gonna duplicate this. Then I'm gonna put it right down below here. I'm going to reduce the size to, let's say, this, and maybe this. Okay. So let's say this. So I have something like this. So I think like this. Good. So I have it evenly distributed. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this color to, so I'm gonna double click it here, change the color, then I'm gonna include the date, which is 10/24, like this, and I'm going to I'm going to ensure that I create spacing in between, that's the curve. Then make sure that this works well. Then I'll change to this medium. Okay, I think medium. That's a regular. Yeah, regular works well. So like this. Then let's see, take it back a little bit, isn't it? So let's say this, I like this. Okay, so I'm going to change the color to white. Like so. White. So there are some wordings here which says your creative journey begins here. So I'm gonna do this and also do that. Okay, so after that, then I'll make sure that everything goes. Oops. I'll make sure everything goes like this. Okay, so like this. Don't forget, you have to ensure that this is well arranged. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that this is optical. I'm going to reduce this to medium, or let's say, yeah, that works well. So that works well. Then I'm going to change the color to, let's say, this. Okay, good. So that is achieved. Then the next thing I'm gonna do is to write the fee. I think the fee is gonna cost like 10k in Naira. So I just use this. So 10k in Naira, that's like $10. $10. So the next thing I'm gonna do is ensure that this is aligned with this. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna make sure that I change the color to blue, which is this. Then I will ensure that it is set to be bold. It is set to be bold. Optical. Probably maybe increase the size a bit to, let's say, 60 pixel. Yeah, I think 60 pixel works well. Then so I should have another shape. So I'm going to have this particular shape. I'm just going to duplicate, then have it here. So I have it down below here. Then good. So if I have it down below here, then I'm gonna have some things inside of it. So I'm gonna have the details of the bank for the payment. So I'm gonna have 9075729265. Okay, so we're gonna have that. Then I'm gonna make sure that I reduce the size. Also, I'm gonna change the color to white. I'm gonna change it to white. Then this to optical. Then maybe let's see 36, or let's say 45. I think 45 works well. Then I'm gonna change this to medium. Yeah, then that works well. So I'm gonna ensure that I move this up a bit. This goes up a bit, and then I'm going to duplicate this. Obviously, I'm gonna duplicate this, then I'm gonna change it to what? Okay, good. So I'm gonna so this is the name on your account. RDMA. Raphael. So that's obviously what I'm gonna have. Then I'm going to, let's say, so obviously I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm still going to bring this down. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to duplicate this, because in Nigeria we do have names of bank. Actually, it's a fintech, that's OP. This is not a sponsored ads, but OP is quite okay for me, so that's why I ensure that I use them always. OP. So I have it like this. Then I think I would need to select everything and automatically distribute them so that everything will be distributed vertically. So okay, so now I think let me do it this way. So I think that's cool to have like this. So fine. Yeah, so well. Yeah, so I think that works fine. So then I still have one more thing here. It says this has to move up, have to move up. So now I'll have contact more inquiry, and registration. So obviously it's gonna be black color. So I'm gonna make it in black color. Then so I'm gonna make this regular. Good. I'm gonna make it regular. So I'm gonna put the contact here, and obviously it's my contact. You can always reach out to me if you want to. Okay, 08149 516694. That's my contact. 66. So I'm gonna ensure that this is in medium or bold. Is it bold? Yeah, bold works well. This is bold. Okay, this is bold. So I'm gonna make it up a bit. Okay, that's fine. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I would ensure that I still move this everything up a bit. I think everything still has to go up. So everything has to go up. Then I'm still gonna close some gaps here. This gap goes up too. So once this goes up, then this definitely has to go up also, so that everything can work well harmoniously. Because there's still one more thing I'm going to create down below. So to create spacing for that, I need to push this up. Good. So now I'll need one more shape here, which I can just pick this shape. I can just pick this shape randomly, and okay. Like this, so I can increase like this. Then I still need to move something a bit. Okay, so now I think the next thing for me to do is to bring my image, and I'm just gonna bring my image like so. I'm gonna click and drag. and I'm going to drop it like so. So I'm going to, so now the issue here is that for you to get this particular texture and the likes, this effect, I'm going to specifically make another tutorial explaining that step by step, because this tutorial is already exceeding the assumed time I thought, so I wouldn't have enough time to start doing all of those things for now. So what I'll just do is this: I'm just going to make use of what I have before, then I will make a tutorial on how I achieved this, specifically on how I achieved this. Maybe in the subsequent tutorial, maybe the next tutorial I'm going to upload, I'll show you a tutorial on how I made this, so that you can, in case you want to achieve something like that, you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to do something like this. So I'm going to increase it a bit. So I have something like this. Now, if you noticed in the tutorial I showed, there's something behind it rather. So actually, the way you can do it is just using your sniping tool to screenshot from here downwards. So that's what I did, and you can quickly do that by bringing out your sniping tool. Then click on new. Then where do you need it from? You need it from, let's say here, from here like so, then to, let's say, here. So you need it, then you copy and you come here and paste. So this is it. Then you can increase the size. So bring it here. So you can increase the size like so. You can increase the size, then hit on OK. So that's it. So that's how I got that. Then just drag everything down below like so. And you can still make it go down like this. Okay, so like this, then you're good to go. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is, I think we're almost done with this tutorial, but it has taken a long time, a really long time. I never knew it's going to take this long, but I hope it's really worth it and you enjoyed every bit of it. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is to place my logo, which I'm just gonna come to the previous design and just drag the logo. So I'm just gonna drag the logo and it's okay. So the logo, I'm gonna hit OK, and I think I need to reduce this a bit so that everything can be balanced. Obviously, we need to ensure that we make everything balanced. So I'm going to centralize this with this. So, like this. Yeah. So and also this is that it's well balanced. Okay. Yeah. So So one more thing, then we'll wrap it up. One more thing, then we're good to go. So obviously, I'm going to show who the person really is. So I have a text here that says, so I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to increase the size, and I'll make it come like this. I'll make it come like this. Put up my enter button. So I'll change this color to this blue, like so. Oops, so blue. Okay. So I think I have to change this to black color. Black color. Black. That does the job. So at this point I'm gonna change this to regular. Oops. Medium shirt. So I have it, I think I have it somewhere around here. Okay, I'm gonna lock this so that I can do what I want to do. Oops. I'm also gonna lock this. Okay. Yes, so I'm almost done. Obviously, I've been saying this like 1001 times. So the next thing I'm gonna do now is I'm still gonna reduce this because it's covering this, or probably maybe how to reduce this. Just show you right there. Let's do this. So alright, so now the next thing I'm gonna do is or the last thing, and put it away. The last thing I'm gonna do is just to come here, create another new layer, then I'll hit up my gradient tool, then I'll make the opacity to come to, let's say, 30 or 50%, then I'll just do like this. Yeah, I think that's cool. So I can then reduce the opacity a little bit. So let's see this. I think it works well. Let's say 60. 60 works well. So apparently that's it about this tutorial. Then maybe I'll just have to change some little detail of the color. Maybe just change this to this color. Same goes to this. Same goes to this. Same goes to this. I'm just going to change the color to this color. And apparently, that's all about this tutorial. I took my time to explain everything I did in this tutorial, and that's why it's really, consumed my time, because I have to explain how I made everything. in detail why doing this, and I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. So like I said, in my next tutorial I'm going to show how I made this, how I apply the effect, because the tutorial is already long enough, and for me to start making this effect it's gonna take a longer time. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. That's how I made this simple tutorial for my class, which I had a few months ago, and subsequently I'll still come up with some other classes, but I ain't sure for now. I'm not sure, but if I'll be coming up with another class, I would let it be known to the public so that you can subscribe to my class and learn how to design in 2024. It's really important to learn how to design. Okay, so that's all about this tutorial. I hope you really did enjoy the tutorial, every bit of it. So let me know how you feel about this tutorial in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share with your friends, share with fellow creatives, and you can follow me on my socials at Bikoti, on Instagram, on Twitter. Obviously you're going to see the boy in blue shirt, in blue turtleneck, so it should be very easy for you to identify me. All my socials, I make use of this particular picture, so it will be very easy for you to locate me on all my social medias, and you can follow me up and gain more insight on my subsequent designs and get to know every update I'll be dropping. So that's gonna be all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. So see you on the next one. Thank you.